What's up, everyone? Sound check. Checking if you guys can hear me. Hello? Hello? Let me know in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me. How are you? Let me know if you can hear me. Nice. Well, it's great to have you guys. I am actually going to try and do the podcast as a live video, as a live stream. So we're going to try that out, see how it goes, and go from there. Great, building your newsletter landing page. So that is what this podcast episode is going to be about today, which is newsletters. Let some people cycle in and we'll get there. But I am shocked. I was actually surprised that newsletters were a thing. I originally, when I was looking at side hustles, I thought newsletters were like an old side hustle. They were recycling, like envelope stuffing, things like this. And then I saw a streamer or a content creator say that live or newsletters have changed their lives. Now they were Substack user. They were using Substack. But yeah, they were saying that it changed their whole monetization approach and how much money they were making. So I was like, I have to look into this. And then I did, and wow, newsletters you can make money on. Very, very surprising. So I am going to try my podcast as a live today. So if you are listening to this later, just know there is a live chat that I'll be interacting with. But hopefully you still find it very helpful. Hopefully you learn a little bit about how newsletters work and what you can use to monetize it, and some of the things you need to look out for in terms of knowing if your newsletter is performing. How does that sound, chat? I'd love chat to tell me if there's any lag or technical issues with my video. This is the first time I'm doing this, so I can only assume there's going to be technical issues. But we have a fairly active chat here on Instagram. And we see some people saying they're going to have a newsletter attached to a store. They're going to join newsletters sent to their houses in their area. So when we're talking newsletters, I am not talking about the ones where they mail it into you. We are talking about the ones that you get in your email. Some would call it spam mail. But when you subscribe to newsletters on the internet, it's not spam. Video and audio sounds good. Great. Thank you. Thank you for confirming that in the chat. I appreciate that. So yeah, we're going to actually go through my dashboard on my newsletter, and I'm going to give you a kind of a behind the scenes look at some of this stuff and everything like that. I've set it up so I can share my screen. So that's going to be a big moment of truth, and we'll see how that works. You will be able to watch this later. You can watch it on my YouTube channel. You can also subscribe to me on Spotify. So yeah, you could totally watch this later if you want. Right now it's just a discussion with my chat, and then we'll get into the podcast. I won't stay too scripted. But I do want to try and stay focused and try and make the podcast listenable without having to watch it. But I appreciate you guys going through with me on the audio check. And I have big news today as well. Really, really big news. Really happy news. I'm excited about it. Hopefully you guys will be too. I'm really scared. I've been taking my time with the setup. Hopefully you could see the work that's going into it. Learning a lot of the technical things, getting a good PC. I'm simulcasting right now, so I should also be live on my YouTube channel, although I don't even know where to even look at where my YouTube channel is. Oh gosh, I should have thought about that. Oh gosh. Let's see. Is there my YouTube channel is not as active as my Instagram and TikTok, so I couldn't figure out TikTok though. I couldn't figure it out how to get live on TikTok as well. I don't think I'm live on TikTok, and if I am, I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, uh, if you missed it. Great. Great. Well, let's get started. So, welcome to the Side Hustle Review podcast. I'm your host, Ryan, and today we're going to be talking about how to monetize newsletters. I was super surprised when it came to newsletters because when I first started looking at side hustles, I thought the newsletter stuff I was running across were old. Like, nobody subscribes to email newsletters anymore. You know what I mean? No one really pays for these things. Like, who does that? And then I was watching a TikTok and this creator said, my newsletter changed my life. I was able to quit my job because of the success of my newsletter. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. So they are still a thing? How are they doing it? And she specifically was doing it through Substack. So I looked into Substack. I looked into a few others. I happened to choose Beehive. I can't remember why. I don't think it was a price thing. I don't really recall why I ultimately chose Beehive, but I've been super happy with it as my platform of choice. But there are a few others. There's Substack, and there's one more that is escaping me right now. I should have done better at keeping notes. I'm going to grab a swig of water right now. Hold on. But there are a few other ways. And I've learned a lot about newsletters since I've started mine. And I learned that you can make money pretty quickly. Now, my money isn't life-changing. In fact, I'm negative. My newsletter, I'm at 2,600, a little bit more than 2,600 subscribers, which means it cost me $89 a month for my Beehive subscription, and I only make around $45 to $50 a month through so I'm negative. But I think it can get positive. And again, I'm not charging monthly for a membership of my newsletter. So I have it completely free. I have it name your price. So if you choose to donate, so I'm kind of a fool that way. But I think it's a great way for us all to learn. So I'm excited to do that. I also have exciting news to share with you before we get started. I have really, really excited news for you, for us, I just want to thank all of you for supporting me throughout the years doing this content. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm my first sponsor. That's right. I'm super excited to talk about a sponsor that I have and how much they were here to support me. I really wasn't expecting to get a sponsor, but yeah, I do have one, and it's called Playground.com. Playground.com is a website that does graphic design. Think of it as Canva on steroids. And we kind of linked because they're really, really wanting to empower people, solopreneurs, and things to make money themselves. So I am working on my designs of new merch, my 100 Air merch, and I'm using their platform to design. You can see this one right here is one of the funniest designs I saw, or one of the best designs, self-made 100 Air. It's really, really great. The way it works is you actually can just come in here and say you want to do a t-shirt or you want to do social media posts, stickers, mock-ups, and you click in and you can pick any of these pre-created templates, and then you can use AI to actually design the mock-up. So it's actually pretty crazy. I've been using it, like I said, to make some designs, and I'll give you a little tidbit of another project I'm working on. I saw on Etsy, and it's okay if you steal this. You can go ahead and steal this if you want, but I saw on Etsy some underserved space. If you've been listening to me for a while, I talk about a key to a side hustle. The key to your success on making money online comes down to finding underserved space. Where are things being searched a lot and there's not a lot of products? And I found on Etsy specifically, there's a lot of people searching for 30th birthday stuff, 30th birthday shirts, 30th birthday gifts. And so I started to play around with the idea of making t-shirts. So that's where you see this 1995. That's when people were born, 1995, straight out of 1995, 30 and thriving. I started to look at making designs around that underserved space, put them onto Etsy as a t-shirt or wall art and see what it is. And this was just 10, 15 minutes of me doing that. And you could see there's really great designs. I don't have a graphic design bone in my body. In fact, Canva was intimidating for me. If you go look at my 100 Air shirts now, they are completely terrible. I actually paid people on Fiverr to do my designs, and now I'm using playground.com. So I got to thank Playground for wanting to support me. They are a big supporter of this community too. They also feel there's a lot of people out there gaslighting people how easy it is to make money online. And they wanted to support someone that's really showing practical, real use cases of their tool as a solopreneur. Any solopreneur can use this platform. It's a great thing to go to before you go into Canva or trying to go make a event sign or a coloring book. You can come here and really, really design things without that design eye. So I can't thank Playground enough for sponsoring me or how I'll be able to continue going through these things. So make sure you, if you appreciate them sponsoring me, go find their social media. Tell them thank you for sponsoring Side Hustle Review. Check out their website. They have a total free to use tool, and it's a great resource for all of us, I think, as we're trying to figure out how to do different designs, stickers, cards, invites, all those types of things. So check them out, playground.com. Can't thank them enough. All right, we're going to move on to newsletters and how to monetize newsletters and how they work. So we're going to go into the background of my newsletter. So I've had my newsletter, and new edition drops tomorrow. So make sure you're subscribed. You can go to the link in my bio and subscribe to my newsletter. Or if you use any of my free digital products, you'll be automatically subscribed to my newsletter. But yeah, you could see my newsletter. These are the basic stats here, but I happen to use Beehive. And we're going to focus mainly on how people monetize newsletters. So you can have newsletters on a variety types of topics. I've seen people having them on finance. I've seen them have them on marketing, and when I said finance, I mean stock, but even like in art or so many other avenues that people have newsletters. And there's a few ways you can monetize your newsletter. There's of course the paywall, right? Paywall means you subscribe and then you start getting the newsletter. And sometimes you have a free version, and then to read this part of the newsletter, you have to be a paid subscription, right? So we have that model. But there are a couple other ways people make money. And in Beehive specifically, it's just easier for me to show. But from my research, whether you do Substack or another, these are the ways you make money. So we'll talk about first advertising. Advertising is a way you can monetize your newsletter. You can see I've made $12.80 in my newsletter with 10 clicks. So the way I've seen advertising offers come through on Beehive, because my newsletter is a little bit smaller, it's not as big, I only get pay for click advertising offers. So you can see I have these offers, which Beehive provides to me to use as I want, to add into my newsletter as they get published. So I can do 2 or 3. I usually just go for 1 because I don't want to get unsubscribers. Like, dude, you just made a full-on advertisement newsletter. So I really just pick 1. Usually I try and do 1 that kind of meets my fan base. And you could see the estimated cost per click I would get for every single ad. So basically, as I publish the ad or then the newsletter, and I'll show you an example. These ads go in, and if anybody clicks those, you get paid. So let's just go to my Beehive profile so we can see what I'm talking about. Side hustle review Beehive. Chat, feel free to ask me questions. Sorry, I'm trying to stay on top of it. If you've asked a question and I missed it, or if you were giving me grief in the chats, sorry. Thanks for the celebration on the sponsorship. Okay, here we go. So let's take a look. The latest one I published here was what I'd be doing if I started today, my big bets for March 2025 for side hustles and the creator economy. And you can see sponsored by Beehive. This sponsored by Beehive, if someone clicks it here, I get money. There's also, oh, come on, man. Not now. Oh, no. I thought I am subscribed to my own newsletter. Come on, guys. All right, sorry. Let's just do this real quick. There we go. All right. Seriously. Oh, gosh. Okay. We're going to just subscribe to my newsletter. Subscribe to my newsletter just to get this out of the way. Now, okay, there we go. As we go down, this is also an ad, a Beehive ad. I put it in a sponsor section, so that's my choice. But here is a full ad. Anybody clicks into this ad, I also get paid for that click. So how much did I get paid? I got paid $3. I think it was $3.20 a click. Now these 10 clicks are across different placements, 4 different placements. They weren't all Beehive. So that's why this $12 is different. And this is for this month alone. So yeah, you can get paid for having ads in your newsletter. Now, of course, you need subscribers to your newsletter, which will go and do that. But yeah, there's so many different offers that Beehive puts out there from an ad point of view that you can use to start making money through your newsletter. Pretty interesting. Again, I didn't think you can make money through newsletters, but you can. I haven't found that I hit these estimated payouts. I'm usually under these estimated payouts. So I think these are a little bit more not as conservative, but aggressive, but certainly pretty cool. Another way you monetize directly through the platform of Beehive and any other newsletter is what's called boosting. So you can basically get paid to promote different other newsletters. So let me find the marketplace. I remember the marketplace was a little harder to find. Here we go. Explore offers. So you can see these. Now you have to apply. I haven't got accepted, but these are all different newsletters looking to acquire new subscribers. So I can sign up or apply for these to try and get promoted. Now, what's interesting is you could see, look at these payouts. $1,500 per send. So if I were to get accepted for this, I'd get $1,500. Or no, up to $1,500. I think they estimate on how many subscribers you have. And $2.16 for every subscriber you drive. This one, I can get up to $128 per send. So if I were to get approved, I can get up to $128 every send where I'm promoting this newsletter in my newsletter. Talk about Inception. It's crazy, but I hear this is a big part of some of the bigger newsletters' economic strategy or monetization strategy. But yeah, you can get paid to promote other newsletters. So I myself would have good synergies with, let's say, money-making site newsletters or creator newsletters, things like that, where if I can figure out a way to intertwine them, there's opportunity. And with these amounts, that's a pretty good amount. Now, again, I only have 2,600 subscribers, so I don't think I'm big enough, but definitely boosting or promoting other newsletters is a way you monetize a newsletter, the way you make money through a newsletter. And another way you make money through newsletter is that paid subscriber. So as I mentioned, I am a pay what you want. I do not gatekeep anything. I don't have a paywall. I just put in my newsletter, and we'll see that example, an upgrade option. I'm super transparent and said, hey, I'll make any money doing this. If you want to support me, go ahead. It's name your price. You can do $0 or you can do $1 billion. It doesn't really matter. Pay what you want. Just help support me. And that's how I do. That's subscriptions. Sorry. I have 16 paid subscribers. Thank you so much for the people that are choosing to pay me monthly. That boggles my mind. I am so thankful and so appreciative of those people that choose to pay me, even if it's $1. That's absolutely insane. Of course, Beehive takes a little bit of cut for these. And so I'm making $41 because mine is various. I have some people that pay $10. I have some people that pay $1. I'm not going to show them here because then you'll see their emails. But yeah, you can get paid per subscriber. Now, you can have different tiers of paid subscribers. Like you can get super advanced with these tiers. I only have one tier, which is called the Lab. You can have different offers through those. You can have newsletters that only go to your subscriber and then ones that go to everyone. You can have a paywall, so your newsletter can have a certain section that only paid subscribers can see, those types of things. So there are a lot of ways that you can monetize through the paid subscription side of things. Let me just create a new tier just so you can see the way they go about it. You can do one-time purchase, you can do name your price, or you can set a monthly plan. So there are different ways you can do the price. I mentioned to you, I do a name your price newsletter. You just put whatever rate you want, right? But others do pay $10 a month, pay $30 a month, that kind of thing. So for here, you can do a monthly plan and put a number there. You can do an annual plan and put a number there, and maybe you make that a little cheaper than if you got monthly. You can do a one-time purchase, like, hey, you pay me $600, you get lifetime access to all my content forever. Or you can do like I do, which is name your price. It's a minimum $1, and then it can go up from there. You can then put your monthly benefits. You can have different benefits if someone chooses yearly versus monthly. You can have different benefits if someone chooses one-time purchase versus monthly. And then you can do that same with name your price. There's advanced options. There's a lot you can leverage when it comes to the paid subscriber type side of a newsletter that I saw. And you could play a game here, right? Like for monthly, you can do $10, but if you get yearly, you get access to 2 exclusive newsletters throughout the year that do XYZ. Or the one-time purchase, especially if you make that like $1,000 or something, they can get more exclusives. So it's really all in the way you market it and put it into the system. But that's really the way you can monetize the subscriber side of newsletters. Now we'll go into one more, which is not listed here, and that's affiliates. So in your newsletter monetization strategy, you can have ads, boost, paid subscribers, and then you can have affiliate links. So if you're promoting certain products, you can have, and in fact, my newsletter tomorrow is about affiliate links, and this will be kind of in there. But if it's about certain products, and it doesn't have to be like Amazon products, it doesn't have to be like face cleaning products or whatever, unless that's in your niche and what your newsletter is about. But let's say your newsletter is all about AI. You can have links to different AI tools that are all affiliates, that if people go and click those and they subscribe to them, you get paid. Some affiliates, you get paid per click. So you can get paid for, you can get just paid for driving clicks. through a website, through affiliates. So there are 4 main ways you can make money through a newsletter, which are ads, boosts, paid subscriptions, and affiliates, which makes this pretty lucrative. Now, the challenge is getting people to subscribe, right? How do you get enough people to, I've got 16, oh no. Sorry, there's this thing on my monitor. Let me just, says it's not been on too long. Let me just turn that off. There you go. Where was I? How do you get subscribers, right? How do you get people to subscribe to your newsletter? And that is the challenge. And that all comes down to what most side hustles need, which is a promotional strategy. You're going to have to figure out how to drive subscribers. And typically the way people get subscribers to their newsletter is they just say, I've got a newsletter. You can learn deep dives in that, which I say. Or they offer freebies, right? They can have free ebooks. They can have free courses. They can have free templates, those types of things. And you say, hey, downloading this template, you get put into my newsletter. We can use me as a loose example, right? Let's discard and leave. My 2,600 subscribers have been built over the last 18 months. And that's been through my link in my bio, as well as some of the free guides I provide. 2,600 is not a huge amount, but it's also not little. But the only way I've been able to do that is have a promotional strategy or platform. So the way you get your promotional strategy and platform up, you really have to be focused on that. And you have to be ready to produce volume. You're going to trial and error. Look at me. I'm trialing and erroring my newsletter, my podcast every day. Today is a live format of it. We'll see how you guys like it, what the reception is, but you just can't stop. You got to keep on figuring out ways to drive your platform up and have these systems in the background to monetize. The chances of you having a newsletter be something that replaces your 9 to 5, I would put slim to none unless you really find your niche and find your customers, right? And you have them pay a premium. But in general, what a newsletter is part of a creator's income streams. It's not the stream. It's one of the many streams they have. A content creator will have sponsors, like we mentioned today. Mine was Playground. Thank you so much, playground.com. They have affiliate links, which you can have those links through the link in your bio, but you also work them into your newsletter. You get them through digital products. If you choose to sell digital products or physical products, as we mentioned, I was designing or looking into designing my different t-shirts, right? Those are products. That's how a creator monetizes. And it could be through a newsletter. A newsletter can be, depending on your niche, 3% of your revenue, 10% of your revenue. I found a lot of guys that talk stocks and trades are pretty successful with a newsletter. Pretty successful having their newsletter be a source of monetization. But you can even have this be a source of monetization if you become a knitting creator or, a creator on so many different things. A newsletter can be one of the things that are bringing you revenue. And you may try it and then realize it's just not for your audience and go off and figure out something else. But the real point here is so many people online tell you you can make thousands of dollars with a newsletter. And that's true, but it's not just by spooling up a newsletter and going. No, it needs to be part of your business strategy. What is your business? Are you a content creator? Are you a burger stand? If you were running a burger stand, do you think your customers are going to submit to your or pay for your newsletter? Probably not. Affiliate marketing, newsletters, selling on Etsy, all of them should be part of a business plan, a business model that you're trying to implement. This can be one of the revenue streams. So if you were sitting back and going, okay, I'm going to become a content creator, and I'm going to be a content creator on selling stocks. What is my monetization strategy? Newsletter comes in, affiliate marketing comes in, sponsors come in. These are ways I'm going to monetize. So that's what a newsletter is. So anybody saying, hey, I will pay for my course $1,500 to learn how to make money through a newsletter, don't do it unless it's part of a business strategy you're putting together and you don't know much about newsletters. And I still don't know if you should go to that coach, because if that coach specifically is not disclosing this should be part of a business strategy, don't mess with them. Don't mess with them. They should be transparent about that stuff. They should be transparent about that stuff. Now, how do you know if your newsletter is doing well, right? How do you know if your newsletter is doing good? There's a bunch of different stats, which I'm going to brush over real quick on my own. And you're going to see that my newsletter performs well in some places and not so good in other places. And should I fix them or should I not? We'll see. Who cares? We're just learning together, right? So let's go into my analytics. And you know what? We're just going to go through my dashboard here. Or no, let's go through, is it this one? One of these looks really good. I forget which one it is. No, not this one. Let's see this one. I think this one's good. No, there's a better one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, these are it. So what's great about Beehive is it tells you what's good performance. So you can see over the last 30 days, let's actually go a little bit longer. Let's go I haven't had a newsletter for 30 months. So this will cover all my newsletter, like all of it. So every newsletter I sent out, I have a bang on, almost a perfect open rate. A good performance is 40. I'm at 39.34. That is great. That means people are getting my newsletter and they want to open it and they want to read it. I have a great verified click-through rate. Well, actually, mid verified click-through rate. I'm still learning what the click-through rate means, honestly. I don't think I put enough things in my newsletter for people to click on. That might be the challenge. I'm not sure. Because I found when I put a lot more links in one of my newsletters, the click-through rate was crazy. And then this last newsletter, I didn't have a lot of links. I just didn't add them. So then my click-through rate was down. So I think it may depend on if you put enough links in your newsletter. So yeah. Unsubscribe rate is also great. So that means the ways I'm acquiring subscribers is not unorthodox. So for example, if you go through and find ways to, oh yeah, my screen looks very small on my phone. Okay, I'll have to work on that. Sorry. I'll look into seeing how I can make it bigger. That might be why people are becoming uninterested, because it's hard to see on my screen. But thank you for that insight. I'll take a look into it. If you're getting your emails through unorthodox ways, like basically clickbaity or bait and switch ways, you will see your unsubscribe rate go through the roof. I keep mine on the up and up, so my unsubscribe rate is decent. Now, where mine's a little bit, why I could see why this is 1.22 is that if you download one of my free guides on how to make money doing Amazon reviews or on underserved space, you get automatically subscribed to my newsletter. Perhaps that's not something everyone wants. So they kind of get, they just unsubscribe. And I get that. So it's one I'll live with. The other is paid subscribe rate. Now, again, I'm not pushing for people to paid or pay for my subscription. So 0.58, I'm not looking to get 25%. Well, it'd be great if 25% of my newsletter subscribers did that, but nothing I'm worried about. I'm not really trying to do that. There's usually one more on here, and I'm not sure. Maybe it's by post. Let's just see. They show you reported to spam. Yeah, here you go. Spam reported rate. So this is just on some of my posts over the last 30 days. And not a lot of people are reporting me as spam, which is also great. You can see actually here it's saying my unsubscribe rate is out of whack. And you know what? Again, that's one I'm living with because the way I get people through is by downloading my guides and things. So you can see there's a lot to look at in your newsletter platform when it comes to analytics. But really you want to make sure your open rates are good, your click-through rates, let's figure out what those are. Your unsubscribe rate is not through the charts, because if you get too many unsubscribe or reported as spam, you can really put your whole newsletter at jeopardy. So you got to just remember that. You can really analyze it and see how your monetization's coming through, that kind of thing. So that's pretty much it from a newsletter point of view. If anybody in the chat has questions, I'm open to taking them on newsletter specifically if you've been hanging around and listening to me. But yeah, I don't have much more to talk about when it comes to the newsletter. So I'll give it a couple minutes to see if anybody has questions on the newsletter specifically, how to make money through a newsletter, any other questions. I'm happy to answer them. I won't take too long because I ran out of water here and I'm thirsty. But if anybody has questions, happy to answer them. Let's see on YouTube as well. Sorry if I'm looking to the left. Congrats. Can newsletters be ad supported? Yes. As I mentioned, Grumpy Old Man, if you're still here, yes, they can be ad supported. That's what Beehive offers, is an actual way to monetize is through ads, and they bring you the ads. So I made $12.80 through advertisements on Beehive. Thanks for the question. How about adult newsletters? I think 100% that is definitely a genre and a niche you could do. Now, with the adult newsletter, you are going to have to find customers, and that comes down to your promotion, right? So you are going to have to put yourself out there, get people to promote it. But I 100% think adult newsletters is probably a thriving genre and something that can get pretty creative and interesting. What is the growth rate of my subscription? That's a good question. Does it show that? Let's see. You know what? It shows it here on this dashboard. So you can see I went up from over the last what is this? Last 4 weeks, I went up about 800. Yeah, 800 subscribers. I don't know what that growth rate is percentage-wise, but that's pretty good. That's because I've had a couple. That's because I had a couple videos work out where I was talking about some of my guides. People downloaded my guides, which bumped my subscribers up. How much time do you spend writing your newsletter each week? I spend about 4 hours researching. I do use, completely transparent, I think I even included in some of my newsletter, I use ChatGPT to edit my thoughts, but they are completely my thought. You will not be successful just going to ChatGPT and having it do your full newsletter strategy. You need to download whatever's in your brain about the subject into ChatGPT and just have it make it more concise and digestible as a newsletter. But you should not just rely on ChatGPT to be your newsletter complete strategist and things. For example, and I found this super interesting. I used ChatGPT to kind of focus my newsletter, right? And I copy and pasted it into an AI detector, and it said 0% chance it was written by AI. It was written by AI in the end, but every single fact in there came from my brain. Every single point came from my brain. The way AI detectors detect AI is when you're relying on AI to give you the facts. But if all the facts are from you and all the tidbits are from you, then AI can be super helpful in making that digestible as a newsletter, changing the content for it. So how much time do I spend doing a newsletter? Yeah, again, about 4 hours. 4 hours a week I spend researching the stuff that goes into my newsletter. Great questions. Thank you so much for asking them. Any other questions on the newsletter front? Let me check YouTube real quick. And I don't know if I'm live on TikTok. If I am, sorry guys. I don't see a chat here from you guys. Will you go live on Twitch too? I certainly can. I have a Twitch channel. I used to go live on there, not playing video games, but I'm certainly open to it. Certainly open to it. Yeah, any other questions on the newsletter side hustle? If not, I will end it here. Hey, I really thought this was a great format. I don't know about you guys. I love the chat interaction. We'll see how it performs as a podcast. I'm always a little weary. I'm not one of those people that listen to podcasts that are done live, like live events, stuff like that. But perhaps it'll work. I wish I could figure out how to get Instagram chat into my chat on screen. Maybe that's my next endeavor. But yeah. Off topic, I tagged you in so much stuff recently, but what I really want to see you do is a reel on selling paper in real estate. Josh, I've covered that one in a few different ways, but I will take a look. I do remember you tagging me in some. I've posted about them. I don't think I tagged you respectively in it. So I'll work on that. But selling paper is very much just the same as wholesaling houses, which I've exposed a few times. If you Google my name, Side Hustle Review, and wholesaling houses, or even selling paper, I muted. Sorry, I'm muted. I hit the mute button on my microphone. Sorry, Josh. Um, thank you. Google my name and wholesaling houses. No, sorry. You guys should hear me back now. I hit the mute button on my microphone. Perfect. Great. Still no audio? You got it? Can you hear me now? Yes, Google my name and wholesaling houses. That is the selling paper side hustle. And I can cover that in another video. It's been a while since I've done it. It is a real thing. Wholesaling houses is a real thing. What they leave out is how much cold calling you have to do and how much negotiation you have to do. Most people that are selling the wholesaling houses side hustle are recruiting you to do the grunt work for them, recruiting you to become a cold caller for them, because they're the ones that have the cash to buy those real estate. So if you go find a house, right, you have to call the owner and say, hey, I know you're trying to sell this for $380. Give it to me for $300. And I'll pay you in cash. And then if they say yes, you go find a buyer. In your network that'll pay $320 and you keep the $20. That is what they're offering you. That's what they're offering you. Now there is this guy, I forget his name. Is it Richard? This guy? Slightly different pitch. You're still cold calling people, right? You cold call them and you say, hey, instead of offering them less for their money, I'll offer you exactly what you're asking, $380, but do it in 4 payments, 5 payments, 8 payments, 30 payments, whatever, and see if they say yes. So you're not offering them less, you're just offering them in payments. And if someone says yes, these guys will take it. They're just really wanting you to be their cold caller. That's what they're looking for. They should be more transparent about that. They should just be more straightforward, but I think they'd get less interest, right? So that's why they call it this fancy thing, wholesaling houses, selling paper. Really, hey, you want to be a cold caller for my real estate business? That's what they're offering you. Little off topic from the newsletter, but all good. I'm glad I could be helpful, Josh. Sorry I muted myself in the middle. Wow. I got to figure out Modders. I'm not constipated, but I can tell you I am very, very sleepy. I did not sleep well at all last night. I have a 2-year-old. He was sick with a fever and he's constipated, which made you think you brought it up. So I'm on 2 hours of sleep, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Say that you were concerned about me and you were wanting to just make sure I'm okay. I appreciate your worry, and I can assure you I'm fine. But I am sleepy. So thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah, I know, Josh. I know. Yeah, mine was not insomnia. I just had to tend to a little one. But great. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. Thank you so much, chat, for talking to me. It was great having you. Again, I think I like this format. I hope to hear from you guys. And if you like the format, let me know in the comments. And if you're watching this podcast, please, please, please like, subscribe, do all the comments, do all those things. That really helps the algorithm. It helps really good things around side hustle info get out. I am always shocked as I do my research how many side hustle gurus are out there putting out just false information or very surface level information without really getting in the nitty gritty. I think the nitty gritty is needed more than ever on this space. And if you agree, let me know in the comments or interact with my video, because I think that is what's missing on the internet right now. It's just truth, transparency, and the real messiness of making money online and doing all of the hard work in the background. So I would say that's really the important part of it. But I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. And I'll see you. I'll see you around.